Hi everyone and welcome back to The Rewind. And today we'll be talking about the VHS. Before we begin, please can I ask you to drop a like on this video and do subscribe if you like this kind of nostalgic content. Alright, let's begin. Oh yes, the good old days of the home video. My fondest memories. Those days dropping in at the local video store on a Friday after school, browsing every section for nearly an hour, looking at every cover in detail. This was my happy place, a film lover's paradise. Every video rental store had its own vibe, and no matter where you went or how small the town was, you could always find a video to rent. We dedicated evenings to watching movies with friends and family. It was an unspoken tradition, part of a culture. Although the media is lost, it had a significant impact on film distribution and the movie industry as a whole. JVC invented the standardized magnetic recording tape in '76, and the format was used globally to record video. Film studios took advantage of this, redistributing movies that came to the end of their cinematic run, giving the film another opportunity to recoup or even make a profit. These movies were expensive to purchase, so consumers opted for the VCR to record TV shows and sports on blank tapes, and so the video store was born, offering the same expensive movies to rent. Home video dominated for almost 30 years, but as it is in the ever-evolving technological landscape, the old must make room for the new. And by the end of 2006, VHS was gone. But not forgotten. So I'm going to take the time to show you guys a little bit of my very small collection. I've kept it really small. The thing is, with the VHS tapes, they're few and far between. Most of these I bought with like change I could find in my pocket, so I picked them up for really cheap. Added to the collection. It's a really bulky collection, so if you have like hundreds of them, and I've moved a lot in the last couple of years, so you know, hauling all of that back and forth. So this is just a way to keep myself in check, so I don't spend too much money on collections. I've got different kinds, so everyone needs a little bit of attention, so I'm not spending too much on this. I picked up a VCR a few months ago when my wife for Valentine's Day put a mattress right in front of the TV, put on a horror movie and had some snacks and just had a fantastic night of nostalgia. I mean, it was great. There were trailers, the picture wasn't perfect, the sound sucked a little bit, and it was perfect. You know, just transported me right back to those Friday nights or Saturday nights. You just chill out in front of the TV and just watching movies. All right, so let me just see. All right, so these ones are very old. So I go to second-hand shops, antique shops, car boot sales, stuff like that, and that's pretty much where I've picked up most of these. Now these three were in a box. They were just absolutely caked in dust. I think I paid like about 20 bucks, 20 rand for all of these. Big Sleep. It's like an old classic. I haven't watched that one. Don't really know what it's about. You got your Casablanca. It's just a cinematic classic, really. And they're in pretty good shape. Most of them, they all do still work. And then A Rebel Without a Cause, James Dean, such an iconic actor, you know, and which is kind of baffling. He only starred in like 3 movies. But, you know, especially with this, I saw a scene out of this film for like a theater studies, and man, what an actor. He was a real talent, and it's a shame, you know, dying at 24, really unfortunate. But such a great actor. All right, so the next thing I want to show you guys is the Blair Witch Project, but it's got this special kind of case. So this is stock kitty core. I'm assuming that they pushed these out, I think, in the late 2000s. It's like, oh yeah, just listen to this. Wait. Doesn't do it justice. There we go. That's the popping sound we're looking for. Just close it. All right, so yeah, getting back to this one. So this is a copy of the Blair Witch Project, and what Stock Kinicourt did, they sold these for like a really cheap price. You can see at the insert there, there's all kinds of titles there, and there's like the price, it's like $50. So I think this was just like at the end of the DVD, the videotape era, when the DVDs were just coming in, sort of taking over the market, and they released a bunch of these, probably for licensing reasons, just sort of push them out, just to make an extra buck on the licensing. So I picked this up because, you know, for the film and sort of for the cover, just sort of a little bit of a nostalgia factor there. I'm not a big fan of the Blair Witch Project, but I like this movie for what it represents. You know, it was made on a very low budget, and it was a hit. Everyone was talking about this film, and I think what the filmmakers did with very little resources is just incredible. And that's just reminds you of how magical films can be. It had the whole world in hysterics because of the real found footage genre, you know, and it was just a groundbreaking film. I think not the best, but I appreciate this for what it is. A fantastic exploration of what you can do with very little and what kind of impact it can have on the world. All right, so next was, yeah, just Lord of the Rings is probably one of the best films ever made, well, trilogies ever made, and I picked these up for, it was, I don't know, these cost me like R1 each. So, you know, when I saw this, and the crazy thing about it was at a charity shop, and they had like shelves of videos for like R1 each. And you're just like, you know, with $10 you can pick up 10 videos, and you know, let's say you had $50, you can walk out there with 50 videos. So I carefully browsed through all of it. There was some crap there as well. Lots of kids stuff, episodic videos and stuff like that. And I was just starting to become aware of the fact that, you know, videos are making a comeback, and there's kind of a collector's market for it. So I went looking, and I found this, and 2 months later it was gone. That whole shelf was gone. Those videotapes just vanished. So I'm glad I picked these up. You can still see the original pricing. I don't know if it's 109. Wait, there we go. It's like 109 Rand for this video. Still got a price on there. So that's the Fellowship. We've got the Two Towers, and then Return of the King. Monumental films. So I'm really happy about the fact that I've got it on VHS, you know, and it looks fantastic as a display piece. You know, you just chill it there on the shelf. It's iconic, you know. All right, so the next two, before we end the video, I just want to quickly, I found these two in a bookstore. All right. Just like that. So it's The Exorcist and A Clockwork Orange. Now the thing is, these two are both sealed. This one's definitely factory sealed. It hasn't been opened at all. This has got some plastic lining, but you can also see it's like, it's not, it came out like this, you know. Clockwork Orange, Kubrick film. I am not as big a fan of Stanley Kubrick's movies as most people are. I think the Full Metal Jacket was a fantastic movie. I've watched that a few times. Very good Vietnam War movie. Clockwork Orange, I don't know. A lot of social commentary. Yeah, it's a strange, but I find his films very strange. You know, the approach that he takes with the storytelling. I don't know, it's not really my cup of tea. So this is a videotape I won't be cracking open soon. I think I watched Clockwork Orange twice. Yeah, what can I say? It's Clockwork Orange. I mean, it's a staple in one of Kubrick's great filmography. But yeah, not a really big fan. It's very violent, and yeah, it's kind of disturbing, like a Kubrick movie is. Now, The Exorcist by William Friedkin is probably one of the, well, most people rate this as probably the best horror film ever made. I was like, my mouth was hanging open when I saw this, and it's sealed. Now, as far as I can remember, we could never find a copy of this film in video stores. I think it was the late 90s, like 99, I think, or 2000. Copies started to drop. So I don't know if there was a ban. I tried to look it up. I didn't see anything in Southern Africa specifically if there was a ban. But then, yeah, me and my friend AJ, we went down to the video store, brand new copy, picked it up, watched the movie. I think there's better horror movies, definitely. This is definitely a shocker. I understand why, in context, it is considered to be one of the greatest horror movies ever made, because the imagery, the storytelling, everything, the body horror, it's just all very unsettling, man, and it just sits with you for a very long time. Some of the imagery, you know, will play in your head forever. You know, that's the risk you take with watching like really graphic horror movies. I'm trying to think cinematically if there's been any other movies that has, you know, that kind of grotesque imagery just like printed into your brain. Hereditary comes to mind, especially that final, you know, last scene. Yeah, that sort of sticks, and almost like this is really so. Yeah, this is really a iconic horror movie, and you know, it comes from a time. It feels like most of the films, you know, like Kubrick stuff in the 70s, they were really edgy, really pushing the boundaries. And I think that was important for cinema back then. Yeah, not my favorite, but I'll definitely keep this sealed just as a Hail Mary to the horror genre, you know. So, talking about the horror genre, there's a lot of collectors that specifically collect like the horror movies, especially the old and obscure ones, bad ones. They all fetch like a pretty decent premium price. The downside to that is, you know, when you're looking for a specific horror movie, you might not be able to find it because there's a heavy price tag on it. And especially with the collection, I like buy what I can find, you know. It's not really specifically going after certain titles. That's going to be quite difficult. You know, it's few and far between and not necessarily what you're looking for. But as I can say, you know, it's really fun to collect them. It's something extra that I look for when I go like to thrift shops and charity shops, just looking out for VHS tapes. You know, luckily in today's day, and here and especially in this country, there's not a lot of people that are caught onto this yet. I'm not sure if they don't, you know, really find it appealing. But as a staple filmmaking, and I love films, so this is really films, and it's, you know, it's a fantastic display. I mean, just look at the artwork on the covers, and just holding this heavy case in your hand, you know, cracking it open like we did, you know, just that sound. I mean, yeah. So that is I think that for today. If you want to start a collection, you know, go out, hunt for them on the secondhand market. You can even try Facebook Marketplace, places like that. Just shop around, see if you can find anything. VCR is still available. They're not too expensive depending on where you go. But yeah, it's like a little shrine, kind of, you know, celebrating films back in the day when they were printed on the VHS. Alright guys, so thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please drop a like if you did, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers.